So hello, I wanted to give a little introduction to the creation of custom GPTs. This is something I'm doing here in ChatGPT, but you can just as well do it in Gemini and other models. In Gemini it's called GEM, here it's called GPT, which stands for Generalized Pre-trained Transformer. That's the second part of the ChatGPT product name. And I'm going to do this for a course that I'm teaching right now here at Lyon College. That I'll also teach at Catholic Polytechnic University in the summer. And I'm going to go through the entire process from beginning to end, and you can code along if you like. Please feel free to ask any questions afterwards. So if you look at the dashboard in ChatGPT, you see something called Explore GPTs here, and clicking on that, you get a bunch of already prepared GPTs. And maybe I should say something, why do this at all? The problem when you want to get from A to B using AI is that in a general conversation, at every point, the AI will make suggestions to you. And those suggestions may resonate with you, and they will very likely distract you from your straight path. So if you have a repeatable, simple task, like a drill, or I don't know, students came up with lots of interesting examples, something repeatable that you want to know all the time, and that you're not interested in the AI involving you into a big conversation. You don't want a lot of options, you just want to do that one thing. Then GPTs, custom GPTs, are your friend. Now, most of these are tutors. Here's one I created already earlier. And what you want to do, without further ado, just going to show you how to do it, and then you can play around with it yourself. So you want to click on My GPTs, and then you need to create a GPT. Now, this is the dashboard. The dashboard has really three parts. First one is the create area, which you see here, which we're in right now. This is where you set everything up. So you already have to have an idea about the kind of agent you want to build. The create, this is actually an autonomous agent, in the sense that anything you write here will be pre-configured in the configuration panel. But it's very useful to, if you want to refine this, to actually find input for these configuration choices from outside and put them inside. For the sake of time, I'm just going to keep everything inside this dashboard. But just to be assured, if you wanted to make it perfect or better, you very likely want to create instructions on the outside and paste them here. For now, this is just good enough. And the third one is the preview. Here in the preview, on the right-hand side, you will see so-called conversation starters, which is little widgets that you can click on that represent things you want to do with this tutor. I'm building a tutor for my class. You can also pick a model that depends really on what kind of tier you're on. I'm on a premium tier here for the model, so I can use various, but I choose the auto, which means that the model itself, or the infrastructure itself, will decide which model is useful. Like, for example, if you go to Pro Research Grade Intelligence with even simple agents, getting the answer will take forever, and the result will not be any better than with one of the simple models. Yeah. All of this works also in the free tier, but I haven't tested it, so I don't know if it's better or worse. Okay, let's get to creating. So the course I've selected here is CSC 420, Operating Systems for the Undergraduates. And what I want is create an agent. I want to create an agent that drills the student with simple practice questions, quizzes, and code questions on the available lecture material. So the stuff that I've already created, basically. I'm going to keep it as simple as like this, and then as we see how it goes, I may actually add something else, and that I'm going to teach you additional material. So I'm going to get this started. Don't have to wait, but it's not, the wait is not that long that you need to make yourself a coffee or so. Just stay around, hang around for a moment. It's updated into GPT, which now means it actually puts something into the configure panel. This will also take, I don't know, 30 seconds or something like that to finish. In the meantime, you don't see anything, but as soon as the agent is actually ready to be tested, you will see something. So it set up the internal initial behavior for the goal. Now it needs a name. It has a little name, lecture drill tutor. This is already where I want to make a change, because this is for a specific course, not for all my courses. I only want to upload lectures and material from this particular course. Let's respond to that first, and then take a look at the right-hand side of the configuration. So I want to use this agent only with one course, CSC 420, operating systems. Now it's updating it. I paused the recording. This only took, again, 20 seconds or so, but you shouldn't have to wait around here. So the name changed to CSC 420 Operating Systems Drill Tutor, and that's fine. The name is good. The name is great. And you can see up here there's a little logo to make me a logo, create a logo for me as well. Meaningful logo too, please. And while that's running here, I'm going to show you on the right-hand side what happened here. So you remember what I said in my description, and you can see some of the results here already. So some of this, what you see here, is already part of the operating systems course. But actually, I have not taught synchronization or semaphores yet. I haven't taught process scheduling yet. I haven't taught deadlocks yet. The system here, at the moment, the tutor wouldn't be very effective because the students couldn't answer any of these questions. So I need to do some configuration, in particular upload the files I want this model to draw on. Now this is a pure sandbox model, in the sense that I'm forcing it to only draw on the material that I upload, but as the course proceeds, I can upload more material. I can even say, only give me questions on the most recent material, only give me quizzes on the most recent material. So what this completely does away with is creating separate quizzes, because there's no reason not to do all the drilling and the quizzing in this environment, except for grading. Okay, so it did not create a process picture actually, so it was hampered here for some reason. I'm going to tell it to continue. I haven't had this particular issue before. Okay, so it has created a little image, put the image up here, as you can see, and this is fine. Currently, I don't want any more changes. Keep this picture, thank you. Always be polite with our robot overlords. And then I'm going to have to take a look at the configuration. So all of this was filled in. You saw it earlier, it was empty. So it has put the new name in, it has put a description in, it has given this instruction set. And this is something you really need to check very, very carefully. You can also alter it, so it will be rewritten every time you make a change. But this is not very structured. For example, it doesn't include a separation of input and output, which would be better. Just for the film now, because I'm really doing this as I go along, I have not done this particular tutor before. I'm going to leave it for now, but some of it is good as well. Tone is neutral, instructional, and efficient. I kind of like what I'm seeing here. Okay, now here you see the conversation starters. You can also add to these, and these starters are not something I want. So quiz me. I don't want in particular topics in here. What I want in here is things that are formational rather than topical. Yeah, so quiz me on a topic from the lecture material, for example. There will be a multiple choice quiz. Give me one practice question. I'm going to modify that later on. Create a short OS quiz from these lecture notes. That's good. And then test me on synchronization. And I'm going to do another one here. Give me a simple coding problem to solve. Yeah, because this is coding, so that seems reasonable. And I can't think of another one right now. Now, so this is the starter. And by the way, as you can see up here, this model is currently in draft, which means you cannot share it with anybody. It's not really a model yet, it's in the training phase. So once you're done, you can click create and then you can share it with everyone, just like I did that with you earlier. So I'm going to upload my files, nothing else here. So the files I'm going to upload are all the files from my just created PDFs from my different lectures. These are the lectures I've done so far. So these are all going to be uploaded. And this is probably, I would think, these are large files. So it's probably already about, I don't know, 150 pages of material, pretty much, which scripts that I wrote myself. So now what capabilities should this have? Do you want to do web search? That is actually for coding and other questions, it's useful because sometimes that goes beyond sandbox, because sometimes an example or I don't know, to check a reference, a documentation, you may want to leave the web search in. Canvas I don't care about at all, apps I don't care about at all. You could add apps here like G Drive, for example, if you wanted it to look in your G Drive and so on. I don't really care about image generation, but I'm going to leave it. And particularly important for me is code interpreter and data analysis. Yeah, there's an explanation here. Okay, so that's it for now. So we're ready for the test. I'm going to go back to the create thing. Let's have a look. Next, I want to refine how student behaves during practice. When students answer questions, how strict should the evaluation be? That's a good question before I start. So, and by the way, you can already see that here the right-hand side was already updated. So the conversation starters are already the ones I just entered. Require precise terminology, multiple appends. No, so I'm going to specify that now. Okay, so yeah, accept partially correct answers. Give only feedback. I think that should make that the second one. Give general feedback only on correctness and so accuracy. Then offer more feedback and wait what the user says. When the user has made a mistake, generate a follow-up question. So this is really the workflow that you want your students to go through when they do quizzes. And I think you can see how nice this is, because you are no longer restrained to, I don't know, the Canvas quiz engine, which is annoying, or I don't know, the engine from whatever learning management systems you use. This will largely do away with most of what learning management systems offer us today. So this is going to revolutionize our online learning, at least. So is there another one I want? Do not immediately reveal the correct answer. That's really important. Do not reveal the correct answer immediately. No, actually, we want that. We do want that. Let's see how it goes. Actually, 3 things are enough. Okay, so, and then we're ready for testing now. So this has been configured, but there are more questions now from the model. This is because I decided to do all this configuration in here. I usually do it on the outside with ChatGPT in regular mode and then just put the configuration in here and I get fewer questions. But the reason is that they get these questions because configuration at the moment is rather general. So this is actually good. Should the tutor handle quiz modes? Interactive drill or definitely interactive drill? You know, okay. Interactive drill only for now. Stop with the configuration and let me test the tutor first. So configuration paused. I can now question, and this is instructions that you will receive. You don't really need this because I told you how to work it. So let's go over to the preview, and I'm not going to ask a question here. I'm just going to ask. It changed, as you can see, it changed back to the original conversation starters, which I find annoying. Yeah, it changed all my conversation starters. So I don't really want that. Quiz me on the lecture material. As you can see, I have to redo that. Also, I have not encountered this error before. Give me practice. Give me one practice question. I'm going to keep it simply. Give me a short from the notes, and here I'm going to ask. Give me a short, simple coding problem. Okay. Okay, so now you can see this is updated. I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask, give me one practice question. Drawing on the material. As you know, all these files have been uploaded. This is what, based on that. Okay, so what's the practice question? What's the kernel of an operating system? And the correct answer is, the correct answer in this case is C, but I'm going to give a wrong answer. So I'm going to say D. Incorrect. Now, as you can see, it gives you the correct answer right away, and it gives me an explanation. That's okay. The explanation is not very long. If it was longer, I would probably try to rein it in a little bit. And there's the follow-up question. Is the device driver typically considered part of the kernel or closely interacting with it, a user application hardware component? And or is it a file system? I'm going to go for B. Still incorrect. It's not a user application. It's part of the operating system. It's not part of the kernel, but part of the operating system. Let's see if I can get anything right here. Operating systems use interrupts primarily to shut down the CPU when idle, handle asynchronous events from hardware or faults, store files on disk, increase RAM capacity. So let's use A. Still incorrect. I would actually disagree with this one, but I have to check in my own notes in this case. There's a follow-up question. Until I get something right, I'll get follow-up questions now. So this is something I may want to rein in. In a moment, I'm going to make a change. And this one is B. I don't know why it has to think so much. That could be because of the length of the, finally get something correct. Okay, so now I get a next question, and I want to change that behavior. So limit the number of follow-up questions to 1. Actually, let's stay to 3. That should be enough. Do not suggest a follow-up question if the answer was correct. And most importantly, wait with explanations until the user prompt the user for explanations. Turn out if he wants a detailed explanation, otherwise keep it very short. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's update that. So this has been updated. As you can see now, another problem here. It has continued to give me these wrong conversation starters. So there's something I need to fix. I don't yet know how to do this. I think in this case, I'm just going to actually take these down and give me a coding problem. Give me a single practice question with one answer, and let me answer it in prose. See if that works. Okay, and now I want to check that. So let's do that. Okay, let's see how the tutor handles this answer. So the kernel is the handles tasks like memory allocation, CPU scheduling. What else does it do? And hardware communication. Because it has full admin access to the computers, it uses dual mode to maintain a wall between itself and the apps. I think that's a good answer. Partially correct. This is what I wanted, because you could have written a much longer answer. So not bad. And here, this is the result. I want a detailed explanation of what you prefer to find your answer. Okay, follow-up question. Then I'm going to break off here because we're running out of time. I'm going to show you the last part of this. I'm going to go back here. This is now what we have. You can refine this. You can upload new things. You can say, I don't want these things. I only want the most recent PDF and stuff like that. We're ready to create this now. So I'm going to create. When I go create, I have the chance to either use this only for myself, use it in my workspace here, or anyone with the link. So in this case, I'm going to go for anyone with the link, and I'm going to update that. Now I can copy the link to the tutor and I can view it. And as you can see, this is the view that you will see when I share this link with you. So just to summarize, this is a very nice way. You can use this on history, you can use it on psychology, on biology, anything like that. I haven't tested it much with graphs, but I've used some of the image creating possibilities. I've used it for grading to actually provide a consistent assessment tone in my feedback, and a number of other ways. So it's a, I think, underutilized ability of AI, which education really needs, and it's largely going to supplant many of the capabilities of our learning management systems. Thank you.